It's July 9th, 2021. A person by the name of makes a YouTube channel called Alginaki. Algin does nothing with his channel until September 9th, where he uploads his first video. Just some gameplay of him beating Baldi's basics normally. Very typical, nothing special. Except he played on a website. Why couldn't he download the actual game? I don't know. Anyway, this Algin guy uploads 13 more videos over the next 17 days. He seems like the typical Baldi YouTuber, and he's still playing on that website, but some of his content is actually interesting. For one, he seems to really like fast Baldi, as he already has 3 videos of Baldi zooming around at max speed. He also does some interesting things and captures some glitches that not many people are really aware of. Algin also seems like a very creative person. I don't know the exact word for it, but he gets things done the old-fashioned way. He uses YouTube captions to tell the viewer what his thoughts are as he's playing, because he doesn't reveal his voice. He even uses Zoom to record his videos. Yes, Zoom! The video platform where you hold online meetings. That's crazy. He's also very minimalist. All of his videos are completely raw, unedited, and captured in one take. For his videos involving fast Baldi, he camped in endless mode and let Baldi get really fast, instead of just downloading a mod menu, which is so much easier. I guess being a minimalist also explains why he used the website instead of downloading the actual game. And one more thing that I like about Algin, even in his first video, he still hates this piece of garbage, and talks about how annoying she is. Anyway, Algin abandons his channel, which sits in darkness in the huge pile of YouTube slop and content farms. More on that later. Algin was fine with leaving his channel, since he wasn't expecting his videos to get any significant views anyway. He wasn't even expecting them to be found. If even one person came across one of his videos and found it interesting, that was good enough for him. So everything is quiet, and Algin forgets about Baldi's basics. But next year, in late June of 2022, he randomly checks his channel and sees that the YouTube algorithm is recommending his videos for no reason. The algorithm had given him life support, but he does not know that at the time. So he says, why not make some more videos and see what happens next? It's also the summer, there's no school, and he has more time on his hands to get back into Baldi's basics. His new videos are similar to his original 14 videos. He records himself doing funny stuff in-game, getting trolled by playtime, and makes some funny edits like this video. And this one. Watch this video at your own risk. Typical Algin stuff. During this time, Algin still uses old-fashioned methods to make his videos. Instead of using Zoom, he upgrades to some random Chrome extension that allows him to record any Chrome tab or window. This extension actually allows him to make cuts and trims to his footage before he saves it to his desktop. However, Algin still has no actual video editing software and still uses YouTube captions. So Algin finally decides to download an actual editing software to make his videos better. After doing some research, he comes across OpenShot and uses it to add cuts and captions to his footage. Nothing fancy, but there are proper captions now. OpenShot though is frustratingly buggy and keeps crashing, but the videos come out. One of them is Baldi's jumpscare montage, which is today Algin's most viewed video by far. Things are looking good for Algin. He's doing some minor challenges, including the secret ending and no items, as well as If I See Blank the Video Ends series. He's making unique content based only on Baldi's Basics Classic and no other games. He doesn't need mods or even Baldi's Basics Plus to keep his channel afloat. And that jumpscare montage is about to become evergreen content. But Algin's life support had been fading throughout the second half of the summer. Remember when I said that his channel was unknowingly on life support? Well, the YouTube algorithm had given his channel life support and recommended his content more in order to establish his audience. That life support had been running out. Algin actually doesn't care, really, about his life support running out. What he cares about is time. Life is catching up, school is starting soon. Algin feels like playing and creating Baldi content is already time-consuming enough. He's also kind of addicted to it. But Algin also never cared about being in the spotlight, having an audience. Paradoxically, he's also kind of bored of making content while liking it at the same time. OpenShot being crappy also plays a role. So on August 19th, 2022, Algin releases his last video of the year, a simple video of him stuck on the broom with Baldi in playtime. He pins a comment saying that he's going to quit with no plans to return. and disappears from YouTube. Wait a minute. That isn't Alginaki. That's Baldi. That's me. Okay, that was cringe. Because while Alginaki was making content that summer, he decided to change his name to better suit his channel. Eventually, he settled on Baldi because it's pronounced almost exactly like Baldi and it has the letter E, which is his favorite letter. And he changed his profile picture to this. Just a simple picture of Baldi's head, not the familiar picture of Baldi in front of locked doors in the red schoolhouse. We're not there yet. But from this moment, the person of Baldi was born, and he would go on to do amazing things. Well, not amazing things, just good/okay things. But first, he had to abandon his channel. It's April 2023. I occasionally played Baldi's Basics on my own for fun and recorded some interesting moments. Yes, I still liked Fast Baldi and I still do today. I had no plans to return to YouTube, but then I discovered Microsoft Clipchamp, the video editing software that I still use to this day, and I enjoyed using it to make short edits of Baldi footage, which I had lots of. More interesting moments of Baldi's Basics, just like it's always been. I wanted to share them for people to see, but that meant returning to my channel. But if I did not return, then these interesting moments that probably don't exist elsewhere on YouTube would probably never exist on YouTube. So what do I do? On July 5th, 2023, I decided to post another video, edited with Clipchamp. That was it. My channel was revived, and there was no going back. And things were about to change a lot. At this point, I was still mainly uploading short funny moments as well as a few challenges. But when I got this clip of arts and crafters glitching out, I knew that I could not rely on the auto-generated thumbnails that Algian had always used. So I verified my phone number to gain access to custom thumbnails, and upgrade to this channel, at the cost of YouTube gaining access to my personal information. Initially, the thumbnails looked like this. They were okay. Some were just bad. But eventually, most of them evolved into the simpler thumbnails with a red background, the ones I make today. Enough about thumbnails, let's talk about character. Since I liked finding glitches and the edge cases of Baldi's Basics, and doing funny stuff, it's not surprising that I eventually began to explore how the game works. This would eventually become a staple of my channel. My first two videos of this type were just simple things, seeing if Baldi could jumpscare me in a corner and if I could outrun him in the east hallway. Then I decided to explore how fast the principal was, and that's where things took off. Since I was a minimalist and decided to not download a mod menu where I could just easily look up the principal's speed, I set up an experiment and used math to get a speed that was only 3% off from the actual true speed. I did the same with the other characters, except for Bully of course, and also with the B-Soda. All of this was possible because of Clipchamp. No more buggy OpenShot or that Chrome extension or YouTube captions. I could easily make cuts, add my own text, and add a few effects with Clipchamp, and post content once every few days. During the summer of 2023, my content was mostly short funny moments, videos exploring how the game works, especially how fast the characters are, and a few challenges. One of these challenges was secret ending no items, which at the time I thought was very difficult, and I was quite happy to beat it. On August 23, I posted a video called Dumb Way to Die. Hey, that thumbnail looks familiar. I thought it looked pretty unique, and since I wanted to set myself apart from all the other Baldi content creators, I took the image of Baldi with a lock behind him and made it my profile picture. One more step closer to the Baldi today. Things weren't all rainbows and butterflies though. Summer was ending and school was starting soon, so I made this video, saying that I was going to be taking some advanced classes and that I was becoming too distracted with both playing and creating content. I plan to reduce my uploads from once every few days to once every 1 or 2 weeks, and more importantly, I was going to spend less time on Baldi related stuff. We'll see how that went. But first, let's quickly recap what I've said in the past 10 minutes, because that's a long time. In the September of 2021, I used Zoom to record some glitches and funny moments in the website version of Baldi's Basics, including Fast Baldi. My philosophy was that if even one person randomly found my obscure channel and found it entertaining, that was enough. Fast forward to the summer of 2022, where the YouTube algorithm gave my channel life support, and I decided to post some more videos to see what would happen. The content I made was similar to 2021, but my motivation shifted more towards making content for fun. During this time, I got an actual video editing software, my content slightly improved, and the name Baldi appeared for the first time. However, this is all taking more time than I liked, so I disappeared from YouTube by the end of the summer. In April of 2023, I discovered Clipchamp and used it to make some small edits of Baldi footage that I had. I wanted these edits to be seen, so I began creating content again in that summer. Clipchamp helped to significantly improve my videos, and I expanded my content from just doing funny moments, edits, and glitches, to also game mechanics and some challenges. However, these improvements required me to dedicate even more time to this channel, and since I was already quite distracted by Baldi's Basics and had a heavy school course load coming up, I announced that I would limit my time and upload spent on this channel, which is where we're currently at in the story. Let's see how well I hold up that promise. Yeah, it did not go according to plan. I uploaded way more frequently than once every 7 days, and when I did wait a week to upload, I usually released multiple videos at once. At the very least, one of them was just a short clip, while the other one took a decent amount of time and effort to make. And obviously, to make all this content, I had to play the game itself. While I was doing all this for my channel, I was taking 3 college level courses and 2 legitimate college courses. One of these was a humanities class where I had to write literary essays, which I absolutely hated with every fiber of my being. On top of that, I had to apply to colleges and write a bunch of essays which were far, far worse, because you're not writing about some text written in Old English by some random dude who lived 400 years ago. You're writing about yourself. And at that time, I thought that there was nothing good about myself and that I was completely So how do you manage all of this? The easiest solution is to drop one of them. The best solution is to drop Baldi's Basics and focus on academics and write those damn college essays. Instead, I chose to focus on my channel because I was addicted to it as hell, procrastinate on everything else, including the college essays, and just BS my academics, getting good grades with minimal effort. Understandably, part of me did not want to continue this channel, but part of the reason for that was not because of my laziness. I was no longer creating content solely for the fun of it, just in case even one person came across my content and found it interesting. Part of me liked seeing the numbers go up, and they weren't really going up anymore compared to the last summer. It just made me more unhappy. But why was I suddenly caring about the numbers? Because, like any human being, I had a tendency to compare myself to others. I had become more and more aware of the state that Baldi's Basics was in. It was dead. Earlier in the video, I mentioned the huge pile of YouTube slop and content farms. Now is a good time to talk about the state that Baldi's Basics is currently in and has been in for a long time. We know that the goal of the YouTube algorithm is to keep viewers engaged for as long as possible. Actually, that's not true. The one and only goal is to maximize profit. And in most cases, this means keeping viewers on the platform for as long as possible. We need to know who these viewers are and what content they are looking for. If you look at the average Baldi content today, not just the popular content, but just the most common content, you see that it's just gameplay of Baldi mods or animations or stuff like that. That's just for the videos. I don't know what the YouTube shorts are like, and I don't want to know.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire!
Why the does the short I just watched have 268,000 views? Oh, and there's also AI with 177,000 views. On top of that, even if the content isn't a YouTube short or AI or that crap, 99% of it is just Baldi mods or stuff that looks really crappily made. It's kids content. Because kids make up nearly the entire audience of Baldi's Basics now. There is a reason why my retention rates are surprisingly low, even for my best content. The kids do not understand what's happening in my videos. They get bored very easily, so they just jump between videos. Basically, the kids do not distinguish between a well-made content that has lots of thought put into it versus the thing that made me lose 20 brain cells. They distinguish based on dopamine, and the YouTube algorithm has learned this. The algorithm also works on a first come first serve basis. It's no surprise that the videos that currently get the most views tend to come from the big channels that got to Baldi's Basics first. Those thumbnails are also made for kids. Smaller channels cannot compete, no matter how good their content is. Even new channels that make many mod videos will also fizzle out. The algorithm will give them their life support, establish their audience of brain-rotted kids, and from there, their channel will slowly die. In short, I was doing all this for my channel just to get overshadowed by all the Baldi slop out there. I felt like running this channel was pointless. And yet, I somehow managed to keep my head afloat, and continued making my usual content, funny moments, game mechanics, and some funny edits. Some of the videos did really well, including this one, a completely novel idea. It was also around the time that my thumbnail style began to adopt the quote-unquote Baldi red. This led to me eventually making my profile picture red, and has been that way ever since. There's a subtle shift in my content. I released my secret ending and item list guides. The year before, I had struggled with both of these, but now I had made guides for them. This was the basis of my challenge arc. November 23rd, 2023, I uploaded the video Will Baldi Catch Me, and for some reason, I don't know why, this video wasn't particularly special. It gained an unusually high number of views over a long period of time. 2 days later, I uploaded a video covering how most of Baldi's speeds work. Not surprisingly, that did very well too. In terms of channel statistics, what came next was the golden age of my channel, where many of my videos got many views and my channel got the highest number of daily views ever for a period of time. Ignore the live support from 2022, of course. By this point, I had straightened my mind out a bit and had reset to making content simply for the fun of it. I was still addicted, but I was not miserable. During this golden age, I also beat Secret Ending No Items Without First Prize, Secret Ending No Running, and No Items No Running. You can tell what these predecessor challenges are leading up to. November 26th, inspired by this video by TB125, I did my first senior attempt. I died at 4 notebooks, but told myself to limit myself to only 1 attempt per day until I won, so that I would not burn out. Each week, I made a progress report of the challenge. I really liked this idea, and even though I had beaten the predecessor challenges, I expected Senior to last for a couple of months, because I genuinely thought that Senior was that difficult. Well, I was about to blow my expectations. December 9th, 2023. Senior, Day 14. I got 3 exits. I kind of messed up, I also kind of got unlucky, but I died to that stupid piece of I was close. The challenge wasn't going to be nearly as difficult as I had thought. However, I stopped attempting Senior because of schoolwork, and also because I didn't have much motivation after that death. But things were clearing up. My channel was doing well, the year was coming to an end, and Christmas break was soon. Things were looking good, and mentally, I was okay. Not great, but okay. December 23rd. I released my second jumpscare montage, which was a big project that I had just gotten done in time for Christmas. At this point, I had basically everything off my chest for the time being and got to rest a bit. So on December 31st, the last day of 2023, I decided to give Senior another shot. 5 hours before the new year, I beat Senior. I was a Baldi's Basics Classic Master, a nice way to end the year. Besides beating Senior, I also picked up Baldi's Basics Classic Remastered over Christmas break. My first BBCR video blew up because everyone was going crazy over the fact that I had finally played a non-Baldi's Basics Classic game. After my video blew up, the views died down a bit since the content wasn't anything too special. It was just me doing typical BBCR stuff with some commentary. But there was one thing that I could not leave out. If there is one thing that has remained consistent since Algian, it's that I like Fast Baldi. And in typical Baldi fashion, I hid behind the math machines with a bunch of bee sodas in endless mode, and watched the bullet train dash towards me until he jump scared me. Alright, so now that I've beaten Glitch Style, what's next? Earlier that year, January 13, 2024, the YouTube algorithm recommended this video by WestyNZ to me. And let me say, even though it took Westy a whopping 50 hours to beat Glitch Style Chaos Mode when it was an insanely difficult challenge, I thought that it would be fun. Partly because there's no garbage. So on February 10th, I began to take this challenge seriously. Keep in mind that I was still addicted to Baldi's Basics. I had beaten No Style without recording it in class. Yes, in class. So it made sense that from February 10th to 16th, I spent an average of 3 hours a day grinding GSCM. Some days I spent over 4 hours. Some days I stayed up late at night, and some of those hours were played at school during lunchtime. I was insanely locked in and addicted. Finally, after a devastating fail at 9 hits, I beat GSCM at 20 hours. It was by far the hardest thing I had done at the time, and it felt like a huge weight had been lifted from my chest. And this was great because there was a week without school right after this, and I felt amazing. After this, I had time to reflect on how much Baldi's Basics had been affecting my life, so I made this announcement and stepped away from my channel. My addiction to Baldi's Basics was finally broken. That is the end of the story. Except, on March 28th, Westy NZ beat GSCM without captions. And naturally I wanted to do the same. I had also been talking with some people in Westy's Discord server about different BBCR challenges, specifically Chaos Mode. And I had watched the videos of other players who had beaten Chaos Mode in the other styles. So I began to get pulled back into Baldi's Basics. So much for staying away from Baldi's Basics and this channel. But for now, things were looking good, at least channel-wise. I beat the other Chaos Modes, continued to explore new strategies and routes in GSCM, and closely followed along as more and more people beat the challenge. To complement this, I made a Google spreadsheet containing every known Chaos Mode completion at the time. Eventually, after doing some research, I made the longest video on my channel at the time, a documentary about how GSCM went from such a difficult challenge to one that's in reach of the average player today. I also voice revealed on May 4th. With my voice having been revealed, it became easier to follow along with my videos, as you did not have to constantly read text on the bottom. And we can't forget Senior too. I beat the entirety of BBCR with Senior. Senior in Classic Style was a nasty hurdle and was my hardest challenge ever at the time of beating it. Although I did not feel as happy as I did when beating GSCM, I was happy to be the one to verify it. But surprise surprise, my mental health was deteriorating once again for the same reasons. So on July 15th, I made this video, saying that I did not trust myself, and that I was going to finally put the hammer down, especially since I was going away to college in a month. I also mentioned having several private videos that I planned to make public, and that I would gradually make them public over the next several weeks, 1 or 2 videos per week. Well, guess what? That did not go according to plan either. I made even more videos! Granted, some of those were good videos, but I was genuinely stressing myself and my content began to fall off, especially with more filler videos and boring Chaos Mode completions. My audience also began to abandon me, which is fair because of this quit video here. And on top of that, I began to readopt the mentality that there was not a single person who genuinely cared about my content. Mid-August 2024, I made this post. Finally, the hammer was down. I had officially stopped making any more content playing Baldi's Basics, and my last 4 videos would release over the next few weeks. I also reached 1 million channel views, but I hardly cared at that point. On September 7th, 2024, my last video released, marking the death of my channel. So what's the moral of the story? Number 1, obviously, don't get addicted to playing or making content about Baldi's Basics or anything really. You need to touch grass, or else you will be unhappy and you will miss out on opportunities in life. If I had joined more extracurriculars and spent more time with other people, my time in high school would have been much more purposeful and well spent. On the flip side, you should do YouTube because you want to, because you genuinely like creating the content you're creating. There were times when doing YouTube felt more like an obligation to me than something fun. You should have fun running a channel. And third, don't focus on views or attention and stuff like that. Unless most of your income comes from YouTube, that's not necessary. YouTube should be fun, not burdensome. I was beginning to fall into the trap of watching the numbers climb, or like watching them go down. In the end, I reverted to my old mindset of making content for fun, even if only a few people enjoy it. And I do have some viewers who consistently watch and appreciate my channel. That's good enough. In short, there should be a balance between content creation and your outside life. And this applies to other things too, like content consumption. Thankfully, I didn't return to my channel while I was away at college. And when I did return, it was because I had a break, which meant time to make some more videos for fun. And some of these were pretty good. I released this video that somehow blew up, and I also beat Classic Remastered entirely with Chaos Mode, which I am happy about. And of course, the April Fool's video. You should definitely watch it, by the way. I'm uploading much less, but I actually feel at rest. And here we are now, after 4.5 years. Only I know how it's truly been, and I can't describe all of it in words. But if there's one thing that you should take away from this long video, it's that you should touch grass. Thanks for watching, and go touch grass, or else you will get jump scared by this job.